All right, all right, all right. Welcome back. Hey, if you have not subscribed, please do. Download that free PDF file that's in the description. Hand it to someone you love, do some math, and then come on back and see how you did. All right. This is solving equations where you have to do the operation or property of distribution first. So notice on the left-hand side of the equal symbol, this would be the left-hand side of the equal symbol, there is a distribution that is simplifying, right? When you perform an operation, that is simplifying. So when I solve equations, I always want to simplify the left and the right-hand side as much as I can. The left is there, the right is there. So 5 times 1x is 5x. Positive times a positive is positive, and 5 times 6 is 30. Notice there's only one term on the right, so I cannot simplify that. This should look familiar. This is two-step equations, so I'm going to undo my adding, right? When you have a two-step equation, you want to go ahead and identify the variable term, isolate that variable term. That means get it by itself, and then once you get it by itself, divide by the number in front. It's pretty repetitive, right? So practice is what you need here. Practice is what you need. Inverse operation of multiplication is division. So that gives me a whole lot of x equals 2. All right, let's do it again. So notice on the left-hand side, there's distribution. On the right-hand side, there's nothing. So I'm going to simplify the left. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 1y is 8y, equals a whole lot of 56. All right, isolate that variable term, right, y'all? That's the term with the variable. So I'm going to move this constant over. When I mean over the equal symbol. Minus 8. 8y equals, what is that, 48? Yeah, that's what I got too. Now I'm going to divide by 8, and I get a whole lot of 6. And that's my y value. Okay, look at the left-hand side. Look at the right-hand side. Simplify anything you can. Distribution is a form of simplification. 3 times 1n, 3 times 4 equals. Okay, now I want to get this variable term by itself. So I'm going to inverse operation my 12 over. 12 minus 12 is 0. Boom. Divide both sides by 3. Divide both sides by 3. And n equals negative, because negative divided by a positive is negative. 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 goes into 6 two times. So that's 12. That's division. All right, all right. Look at your left-hand side. Look at your right-hand side. Simplify whatever you can. Distribution. Negative 2 times u is negative 2u. Negative times a positive is a negative. 2 times 6 is 12. All right, isolate that variable term. Add 12 and add 12. Look how I line these things up when I do my inverse operations. Line them up. Make it easy on yourself. Now is equal to 42. Divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1u equals positive divided by a negative is a negative. 2 goes into 4 twice. 2 goes into 1 once. So u equals negative 21. Oh, they want me to check it. I'm gonna check it. U is negative 21. So I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to substitute that value in. So negative 2 times. Now I know I got a parenthesis there, but I always like to put it in parentheses as well. I just think it's a good habit, so I'm going to do it again, even though it was kind of unnecessary. That's all right. Okay, simplify the right-hand side. Order of operations is what we're performing here. So I got to do what's in my parentheses. Negative 21 plus 6, negative 15. equals 30. All right, now I'm going to multiply these two things together. This is simplification. Negative 2 times negative 15 is 30. Does 30 equal 30? You betcha. That's checks. Let's go. I'm in good shape. All right, let's do number 6 and 7. Again, look for that distribution. Boom, boom. Negative 5 times 2x. Negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. All right, now I'm going to do inverse operation. Remember to go get that term by itself. Terms are important. Understanding terms is important. Terms are separated by addition, subtraction, and the equal symbol. So there's 1, 2, 3 terms. These are constant terms. They're the same. So I'm going to move those constants over and keep the variables where they are. So add 15. Rewrite it. Woo! Rewriting it means you're performing simplification. Now, I want to get that x by itself. So the inverse operation for multiplication is division. Do it to both sides. Negative 10 divided by negative 10 is 1. X equals positive divided by negative is negative 5. That was awesome. So awesome. Okay, let's do it again. I'm sorry, I had to look at it for a minute. Looked a little different, but that's okay. The process is the same. Distribute, boom, distribute. Sometimes it's a good idea just to look at your problem and start somewhere. That's half the battle. It's just getting started. Once you get started, things happen. Okay, there it is. Here's my variable term. Identify that. Leave that where it is. Okay, but notice the constant and the constant. So I'm going to do inverse operations. That's a negative 14. So I'm going to add 14. Simplify. This goes to 0. So I have negative 21y equals, this goes to negative 42. Now I'm going to do inverse operation for multiplication because that's negative 21 times y. Divide by negative 21. You get y equals, because this is a big giant 1, so 1y equals, negative divided by negative is a positive 2. All those big numbers turned into 2. All right, good job. Let's keep going. All right. Distribution is happening here again. So there's my distribution. Notice there's nothing to simplify there. So 4 times x, positive times a negative is a negative. 4 times 8 equals, identify that variable term. Where is you? Where is you? There he is. All right. Inverse operations. Move the constant over with the other constant. Add 32. I get a whole lot of 4x equals 44. I love it. A lot of 4s. Divide both sides by 4 and you get x equals 11. All right. Oh, I like this problem. I had to look at it again for a minute. This is distribution. That's distribution. I know when you have a number next to a parenthesis with no operation between them, operation being subtraction or addition, then that means multiplication. And if there's more than one term in the parentheses, that multiplication turns into something we call distribution. So I do 8 times 2. 8 times 2 is sweet, 16. 8 times negative 1 is negative 8y equals 24. All right, identify that variable term on the left. That is inverse operations. That's a positive 16. So I'm going to subtract it from both sides. So I have negative 8y equals, what does that equal? 8? I think so too. Divide both sides by negative 8. Divide by negative 8. And I get y equals negative 1. That was awesome. So fun. Oh, don't forget your negative. There it is. Okay, let's do it again. Do it again. We always have to do repetitive work. It's important. Repetitive work is how we get proficient at things. Humans need repetition. So that's why these worksheets are so good for you. Repetition, repetition, repetition. That's what I mean when I say get back to basics, right? Back to basics means you are doing your math operations. All right. Identify that. Write down. Add 12. Boom. Add 12. Ooh, this one's going to be tricky. Don't let this fool you now. This goes to 0. You're left with 2w. Uh-oh. What happens to that? That also goes to 0. Okay, you're not done. You're not done. You're going to go through the progression of events. This is a number. So how do you undo multiplying by 2? Divide by 2. Once you divide both sides by 2, that goes to 1w. What's 0 divided by 2? 0. Boom. All right. Distribution. -3 times p. Negative times a negative is a sweet positive. There we go. Identify that variable term. It's the p term. Subtract 15 from both sides. That goes to 0. That was the goal. -3p equals 15. Now what do I do next? That's right. Inverse operation of multiplication is division by -3. Very good. And I have p equals 15 divided by, a positive divided by a negative is negative. 15 divided by 3 is 5. What they going to do here? Check your answer for number 10. All right. Let's see. I got to take that w and put it right there. What does w equal in number 10? Oh, it equals 0. Okay. So rewrite it. 2 times 0 minus 6 equals -12. Simplify. 0 minus 6 is -6. What's 2 times -6 now? That's right. It's -12. They're equal. That checks. We're good to go. Oh, look at what they did here. They put the distribution on the right-hand side, but that's okay. We do the same thing. You always look at the right, look at the left, and simplify. Nothing changes. So that stays 28. -4 times 1x is -4x. -4 times -3 is +12. Identify that variable term right there. Inverse operations, I want to move my constants out of the way and move it over with the other constant. So opposite of plus is minus. So that's going to give me a whole lot of, what is that? Equals 16. I still do the same thing, right? Now I got to get rid of that. So that's -4 times x. So I'm going to go ahead and divide by -4. And that gives me -4 equals 1x. Whoa! Sorry, I disappeared on you for a minute. All right. Never give me an answer that looks like that, though, right? Always write x equals -4. Okay, let's do it again. So fun, we want to do it again. I'm going to simplify that and simplify that. But what I notice is there's nothing to simplify over here. Oh, I don't know why I did that. So I'm going to just go down here and write -45. I think I did it just to separate the left and the right so you could see, right? I always look at the left and the right separately and try to simplify. Distribution is a form of simplification. You're performing mathematical operations. -9 times y. Negative times a negative. Boom. All right, now look at that variable term right there. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 72 from both sides. Subtract 72 from both sides. Man, this is going to be a big number. I might need a calculator. Nah, I don't. -117 is equal to -9y. I hope that's right. We'll find out. Divide both sides by -9 because now I want to isolate that y. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. 9 goes into 11 once with a remainder of 2. So I'm going to put that in front of the 7. 9 goes into 27 3 times. Let's go. That wasn't bad. Remember, variable always goes on the left. Nice work as always. Keep it up. Come on back. Do some more. And you'll see your grades going up in math. You'll see yourself more confident. Your science scores will go up because your math is better. You're opening more doors for your future because jobs like architecture, engineering, actuary, these are the jobs of the future, computer science, and they're all math-based. So do your math, embrace it, love it. Please subscribe and tell everyone about it. Enjoy it. Thanks for being here. Bye.